big issue at zero-hour contracts, so I just want to whip around the panel. It's yes or no. Should we get rid of zero-hour contracts? Amy, New Zealand first.
Seriously? Why do we have them? Just scrap them and take up the minimum wage. Make it $17. Then people can actually afford to, pay for expenses, students.
Okay, so get rid of it. All right, Adam Martin,
rid
get rid of zero-hour contracts, yes or no?
Yes, get rid of them, living wage, so people can actually afford to sustain themselves.
All right, Kimberly, get rid of zero-hour contracts, yes or no?
No.
Why not?
Look, generally, don't believe there's really a problem.
All right, okay. All right, we'll come back to you. And Katie Wilson, get rid of them, yes or no?
Absolutely abolish them. They are ridiculous, and it's ridiculous to expect someone to be able to afford to live when they are not guaranteed work hours.
Okay, Sean Wallace, Young Nats, get rid of zero-hour contracts?
No,
Yes.
but take the rough edges off them, which is what the government's doing.
All right, okay, we will come back to you guys and pick up on some of those. Let's go to Damien Christie. What about you, Damien? Were you ever in a job where sort of the boss would call you sort of at 6 p.m. say, come down to the delicatessen? And,
do you know, right now I'm on a zero-hour contract on One News. They call me up and say, can you do the shift? If they don't, that's fine. But I have got a friend who just this week works for another media company called MediaWorks, boo, and he's been working there every, the same days every week for about close to a year. They heard a rumour that he was going to go somewhere else, and they just rostered him off. No comeback, no nothing, because he's on a zero. And he says, what can I do? And he's been turning up every week, same days, for about a year, as I say. That's the sort of thing that zero-hour contracts can do, just on a manager's whim. We've got a young crowd in here tonight. Who's on a zero? Can we spin the camera around? Who's on a zero-hour contract?
There's one on the back
I don't have to
there,
go very
Damien.
far, actually. There's one right next to me. Turn back around. There we go. Hello.
Hi.
Where are you? You don't have to say where you're on a zero-hour contract. I was going to let you shitbag them if you want to. Do you think zero-hour contracts are fair?
I think they have pros and cons, as everything does. I think it has pros for the employer because basically if the worker themselves isn't doing a very good job, it lets them, rust them off quite effortlessly and it sort of speeds up the process of, pushing them away. On the other hand, as an employee, it causes a lot of uncertainty, but I guess it does also make you competitive because it means that you do have to work harder so that they are more likely to keep you employed.
You say that like it's a positive thing. You have to work harder and harder than everyone else. I mean, that sounds a little bit kind of, Running Man or something.
I guess I work in the tourism industry, so it's all about promotion. And so you want to do a good job, and I guess if you're doing a good job, you're more likely to be rostered on more. But in saying that, with no fixed hourly...
Can I ask you, how regular are your hours?
Well, I just worked over the summer period, and I would do about 40 hours a week.
Okay. That's pretty full time.
It was really busy, yeah. So that was about 8 hours a day for 4 days, 5 days a week.
You've got someone here that's got a badge and everything that says secure our hours. Are you a member of the union?
I'm a union organiser for First Union. So
Okay.
We have a campaign about securing our hours. Yeah.
All right. So you're a big fan of zero-hour contracts then? You think they're really helping to liberalise our labour market?
No. It's just driving the it's the market thing, and it's got no place in New Zealand politics. It's an American system being brought in from outside, and thank goodness for Unite Union and other unions have put a campaign and have forced the government to address the issue. And so it needs to be not just talked about addressing it, but Mr Woodhouse needs to actually put legislation, but he's got those backbenchers again trying to water the whole thing down. So we really need him to say, he said he wants to get rid of it, let's get rid of them altogether. New Zealanders do not like what's happening to our country, and that's one of the issues that needs to be addressed.
Thank you very much. Wallace.
Thank you. Well, let's go to Anna Martin from Greens. I mean, this is good for young businesses, isn't it? You're a fledgling young business. You're kind of struggling the first times, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility, and it gives the employees a bit of flexibility too, doesn't it?
Yes, but the reality of it is, as a young person, you've got your flexibility in your job. That's great. You want job security. It doesn't mean you should sign away your right to actually have work one week. I mean, you've got youth, students, young professionals and young families who have to put food on the table and make ends meet, and it's making it more difficult for them. Why are we not making it easier for them? Okay,
I want to jump back to Damien very, very quickly, but actually first I'll go to Kimberly. What about the work-life balance? And even Michael Barnett, the Chamber of Commerce, Auckland, said there's no work-life balance in zero-hour contracts. What about that? You get called at a whim. How can that work?
Zero-hour contracts reflect the business reality that your staffing needs will fluctuate. As a student, I was often called into a bar if it was really busy to go work that night, and if I didn't want to, I would say no. And you know what? If my employer had wanted to fire me for that, I probably would have just found another bar job. And if I was happy to go in that night, I just did. Zero-hour contracts can work really well for the right groups of people.
Well, there you go, Katie. I mean, you can just find another job.
Where's the job market though? It's not like you can just say, oh, this 0-hour contract isn't working for me, I'm going to find another job. There aren't any jobs
All right.
to find.
I'll come back to you, Sean, but I'll go to Damien.
Yeah, just because the panel is only that big doesn't mean that we haven't got representatives of other parties' youth wings here. We invited Young Social Credit along, Young Focus New Zealand. I couldn't find anyone, but we do have members of the Young Māori Party. Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Elijah.
Etu, if you don't mind, please. Thank you. Now, kōrero mai, 0 hours, is this a big issue for your party?
Hell yeah. I mean, we're in poverty at the moment, and you can't just go and find another job. I mean, it might be easy for that, go over there, but it's not easy for our people. And we don't believe in 0-hour contracts, we believe in a living wage.
It sounds like a kind of like a Mike Hosking thing. Just go and get a better job. Just go and find a job with more money, and better conditions. Is it tough out there for young people to get jobs?
I think so. I mean, I've been in a job that I've had to hold on for ages because if I leave this job, I'm like, oh God, I got to, look and train me, blah, blah, blah. There's no jobs out there. I've had flatmates that have found it so hard to find a job. You can't just go and find a job when you're still studying, when you're students.
Do you know people that are in those 0-hour contracts that do feel that they have to just basically suck up to the manager, go above and beyond, work long hours for free, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a flatmate. She has a contract where she can't go and find another job. She's got a 0-hour contract. She has to pretty much make herself available when the manager asks her. And if she says no, then the manager doesn't ask her to come back. So it's one of those things,
Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Cheers.
This is an issue that we could talk. Thank you very much, Elijah. This is an issue we could talk so much about, but we're on to the next subject, which is legalising drugs. But do keep us informed on Twitter at Backbenchers TV. The youth panel tonight, Backbenchers. See you soon.